Chapter 37 Engagement Party. The day is finally here. The moment everyone has been anticipating is finally here. The engagement party between Rimiru and Milim, the union that really shocked the whole world. Many people were in attendance, and the kingdom of Tempest was in a very festive mood. Fireworks were in full display in the city, and many stores and merchants were in business within the city. In Rimiru's castle, there is a big room that looks like it could fit a lot of people. The room has a big chandelier, and it was filled with so many tables and lots of refreshments. This was the ballroom that was built for the occasion, such as the one that is happening today. The room was filled with so many guests, ranging from nobles to commoners. The people in attendance were Western Council representatives, Emperor Elymesia and her guards, Gazelle Dorgo and his subordinates, Yam or King Yam, as he's called now, is also in attendance, along with his wife Merjan, Gricius, and some of his guards. All Rimiru's top-ranking officials were also in attendance. Carrie and Frey, along with their own people, were there as well. Even Demon Lord Luminous is in attendance, along with Pope Louise and Hinata and the other top paladins. Although people didn't know she was the actual ruler Luminous, due to the fact that no one has ever seen her before. Hinata brought Shizu students with her with the invitation that Rimiru gave them. Apart from these people, many others like Rose and Kings were in attendance, and so many commoners were also in attendance. The ballroom was filled with different people, and many nobles were trying to use this opportunity to curry favor from so many VIPs in the room. In a section of the room, we can see King Gazelle having a chat with King Yam. Wow, look at all these VIPs in one place, Yam said. Well, it is to be expected. It is not every day two powerful demon lords get engaged, Gazelle said. You said it. From every stories I've heard about Demon Lord Milim, I would never expected her to want to settle down in marriage, and with Rimiru no less, Yam said while drinking his wine. Demon Lord Milim is called the Destroyer for a reason. Let's just be glad that Rimiru is able to tame her, Gazelle said. I couldn't have said it better myself, King Gazelle, Elymesia said while coming to them. Oh, great, is Emperor Elysima herself. It's Emperor Elysima herself, Gazelle said with a sigh. What's with the tone of voice, Gazelle? Ain't you glad to see me? Elysima asked with a teasing voice. I know you well enough to know that whenever you are being polite, this must mean that you are plotting something, Gazelle said to her. Why ain't you a party pooper? Anyway, Elysima turned to Yam and smiled. It's nice to meet the new king of the Farmas Kingdom. Yam swallowed a lump in his throat before answering. It is nice to meet the legendary figure such as yourself, Emperor Elymesia Talion. Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine. If you don't mind me asking, I heard that you and Demon Lord Rimiru are very close, Elysima asked. I wouldn't say very close, but we are friends, if that's what you're asking, Yam told her. Wonderful. Can you please tell me that Demon Lord Rimiru is like from your perspective, Elysima asked. Yam looked taken aback from the question, but nevertheless answered. There is not much I can tell you. Demon Lord Rimiru is the strongest being I know. His strength is unrivaled, and is even stated to be greater than that of Demon Lord Milim. He's very powerful, but that is not what makes him great. I don't know how to explain it to you, but Rimiru just has this air around him that makes you want to rely on him with all your problems. His compassion and wisdom makes others want to follow him. In short, he's a good guy even though he is a demon lord. Elysima looked at Yam for a few seconds before she smiled. I can see that you hold Demon Lord Rimiru in high regard, King Yam. I think I have a better understanding of Rimiru's character now. Gazelle turned to Elysima. I can tell you that Rimiru is certainly not the villain the many rumors are making him out to be. Oh, I know that. He is not. I just needed to hear about him from a third party. If you excuse me, I need to greet more guests, Elisma said as she walked away. Gazelle turned to Yum. She hasn't changed. I still can't tell what goes on that head of hers. Tell me about it. I feel like she was accessing me from my depths of my soul. It's terrifying, to be honest, Yum said while shivering a little. Meanwhile, in another part of the room, we find big stairs that was covered in a red decorated carpet. The handle of the stairs was covered in beautiful flowers. At the bottom of the stairs, we find Bimaru dressed in a suit while holding a list. Can I have your attention, please? Bimaru shouted. The music in the room slowly died down, and everyone in the room kept quiet to listen what Bimaru has to say. I would like to welcome the main host for this engagement party, presenting Demon Lord Rimiru Tempest and Demon Lord Milim Nava. Bimaru shouted. The lights in the room died down, and a single light was lit on top of the stairs. The huge doors on top of the stairs opened to reveal Rimiru and Milim holding hands. Both of them began to walk down the stairs while maintaining their elegance as nobles. Following behind Rimiru is Diablo, Shunon, and Tessarosa. Diablo was wearing his usual butler attire, while Shunon was wearing an elegant dress which gave a good view of her figure. Tessarosa was wearing a dress that makes her look like a rich, noble woman. At Milim's back is Frey, Carya, and Shuna. Frey is in a beautiful blue dress that got her figure right. Carrion was wearing a kimono that made him look like a head noble. Carria was wearing a female suit with a jacket that is placed on her shoulders. As Rimmer and Milim and the others began to descend the stairs, everyone in the room couldn't help but stare at them with a surprised look. They all had their focuses on how beautiful Rimmer and Milim were as they were walking down the stairs. Rimmer and Milim reached the bottom of the stairs to see everyone watching them in silence. Rimiru began to address the crowd and welcome everyone to my engagement party. This is a party to celebrate the union between myself and Milim Nava. I want everyone to eat and be merry for the celebration. Once more, I welcome you to my party. Everyone began to clap their hands after Rimiru's introduction speech. Soon the music resumed and the party began on in earnest. Rimuru and Milim went to greet some of the guests that were in attendance. Everyone was wishing them well and a happy family. Some were trying to use this opportunity to gain favors and protection from Rimuru and Milim, but they were all shut down. A few hours has passed since the party began, and Rimuru was mentally exhausted from all the greetings and talking he has been doing. He went to a table prepared for both him and Milim and sat down to rest. Milim, who was talking to Luminous, saw Rimuru and went to the table he was sitting at. What's wrong, darling? Milim asked. Rimuru smiled at her. Nothing much, just mentally exhausted. You have been agreeing a lot of people. It's to be expected, Milim said while sitting next to him. I haven't gotten a chance to tell you this, but I love your dress you're wearing. It brings out all your beautiful charms, Rimuru told her. Milim blushed and looked away in embarrassment. Thank you, darling, and you look handsome as well. Rimuru smiled and kissed her chin, which caused Milim's blush to intensify. You two are such lovey-dovey as ever, Hinata said as she approached Rimuru and Milim's table. She was leading the children there as well. Kenya ran up to Rimuru. Wow, Sensei, I never knew you'd be some kind of ruler. Kenya, you never learn, do you? We are at a party and you're acting like a child, Alice said in a reprimanding tone. Leave me be, Alice. If you haven't noticed, we're still kids, Kenya said to her. You two never change. Anyway, congratulations, Sensei, on your engagement to Demon Lord Milim, Gale said to Rimuru. Thanks, Gale. I hope you all are enjoying the party so far, Rimuru asked them. We are, Ruta said. Sensei's party is awesome, Chloe said in excitement. I'm glad. Now, kids, meet my future wife to be Milim, Rimuru said while pointing at Milim. The kids turned to Milim and came to her at once. Hey, Miss Milim, are you stronger than Sensei? Can you? Asked. Milim looked startled from the question. Let me see. I can't say I'm stronger since I haven't fought him at full power. Please, Miss Milim, ignore him. He always asks the most stupid questions sometimes, Alice said. Milim's sweat dropped. I will keep that in mind. I like your dress, Lady Milim, Chloe said to Milim with a smile. Why do I feel a lot of rage from this girl, which is directed at me? Milim thought to herself. Why, thank you. I wore it especially for Rimiru, Milim said proudly. Rimiru couldn't help but blush from embarrassment after hearing what Milim said. What's this? The great Rimiru Tempest is blushing from a little compliment from his future bride, Hinata said to him in a teasing voice. Well, look at that. It seems like the music has started, Milim. Come on, let's dance together. Rimiru didn't wait for Milim to respond before he took her hand and ran to the center of the hall where other nobles were dancing to a slow music. Hinata laughed after Rimiru left. She turned to the children. Do you guys want to dance? We do, they all answered. Milim and Rimiru began to dance to the slow music. Every other person left the floor for them in order to watch their dance. Rimiru and Milim ignored other people in the room and only focused on each other. They were staring at each other's eyes as they danced to the music. You know, Milim, I am very happy that we are finally together. I promise to always make you happy as long as I live, Rimuru said to Milim as he dances with her. Rimuru, you're already making me happy. Just being here with me. Thank you for everything, and I love you, Milim told Rimuru as he spins around her. Rimuru brings her closer to himself and places his left hand on her waist. I love you too, Milim. More than words can describe. They both looked at each other in the eyes as their face drew closer, but before they could kiss, the world stopped. Rimiru and Milim felt a powerful aura pass through them. They became alert and looked around, only to discover that the world's time has stopped. Everything was frozen due to time being paused. All of a sudden, a portal opened in the middle of the ballroom, and in came out Rimiru and the fake Milim. I'm sorry I'm late to your engagement party. I overslept, Rimiru said as she came out of the portal. Milim quickly changed her clothes into her battle clothes and stood in a fighting stance. Rimiru, on the other hand, remained calm and observed his female counterpart. I don't see why you are apologizing since I didn't invite you anyways. So, what are you doing here, Rimiru asked. Rimiru smiled. I came here to talk. You and I have things to discuss in order to decide the fate of this world. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe today to become one of my domestic listeners. Goodbye and peace out, everyone.